The 2015 Jeep Grand Cherokee is the best SUV for you if you've got some adventure in your blood, or at least in your dreams. No reasonably priced midsize SUV quite matches this Jeep's range, from six-cylinder family wagon to trail-conquering crossover to Hemi-packing hot rod to this torquey devil, a diesel-powered 4x4. The Grand Cherokee, in fact, attracts a wider demographic than virtually any direct competitor. But is it right for you? I'm Chuck Giametta. Join me for a car preview video review of the 2015 Jeep Grand Cherokee. Base Laredo, popularly equipped limited and upscale Overland models return, while 2015 updates are concentrated on the top-line Summit and the high-performance SRT versions. The Summit is even quieter inside now, thanks to an acoustic laminated windshield and rear side windows, plus introduction of an active noise cancellation system. It uses audio sound waves to counteract engine, road, and wind ruckus. Newly available is the Summit California Edition, with body-colored exterior pieces accented by platinum trim and satin-tinted 20-inch wheels. The SRT shares the noise cancellation system and adds a Red Vapor Special Edition sporting gloss black trim, unique daytime running lamps, a backlit steering wheel logo, and radar red cabin appointments. The SRT also gains 5 horsepower and 5 pound-feet of torque to cement its standing as the fastest Jeep ever. Today's generation Grand Cherokee debuted for model year 2011 and got a fairly thorough update for 2014. The 2015 model carries over those changes, including this cooler front end highlighted by slimmer headlamps with LED accents, and on higher trim models with bi-xenon lighting. Larger tail lamps return their LED also, as does this bigger rear window above a bolder Jeep badge. Inside, Grand Cherokee continues to reach for a true premium brand feel. This Overland model comes with a panoramic moonroof, real wood trim, and leather piping that does a fair imitation of what you might find in a Range Rover. Back for an encore are 2 key powertrain advances: an 8-speed automatic transmission as standard, it replaced 5 and 6-speed automatics, and a turbo diesel V6. The same engine available in the Ram 1500 pickup, it puts the Grand Cherokee alongside the Volkswagen Touareg as the only SUVs in this class with diesel power. The diesel is available on the Limited and Overland as a $4,500 option, and on the Summit as a $5,000 extra. Chrysler's Pentastar V6 remains the standard engine for all models. Opting for the 5.7-liter Hemi V8 adds $3,200 to a Limited or Overland and $3,700 to a Summit. The SRT packs a 6.4-liter Hemi, plus a lowered sport suspension, Brembo brakes, and performance-calibrated powertrain software. Both V8s, incidentally, save gas by automatically deactivating 4 cylinders in low-demand driving, though neither is your economy choice. More than any other domestic midsize SUV, the Grand Cherokee suggests a certain European bearing. There's good reason for that. Its basic design dates from when parent company Chrysler was controlled by Mercedes-Benz. Today's Grand Cherokee has some engineering also found in the Mercedes M-Class SUV. As for the diesel V6, it's courtesy of Fiat, the Italian automaker that took over Chrysler, Dodge, Ram Truck, and Jeep after the American company's 2009 bankruptcy. Thankfully, that multicultural pedigree pays off in some pretty satisfying driving dynamics. There's a polish to the way this SUV moves. The steering is linear and nicely weighted, and the ride reassuringly controlled. It's supple too, though you're going to feel more impact harshness than you might like if you succumb to the lure of the cool-looking 20-inch wheels that are optional on the Limited and standard on Overland and Summit. Acceleration is perfectly adequate with the 3.6-liter V6. It manages highway cruising and even merging with little fuss. Of course, you'd enjoy the extra punch of the Hemi. It's the lone surviving V8 in this competitive set, and not only doubles the 6-cylinder's towing capacity to 7,400 pounds, it somehow reinforces the notion of the Grand Cherokee as a step up from the midsize SUV herd. The SRT is that step. It's America's answer to muscle versions of the Porsche Cayenne, BMW X5, Mercedes-Benz M-Class, and Range Rover Sport, with less prestige perhaps, but at a price that doesn't tickle six figures. It's got power to spare and a track-tested all-wheel drive system that can deliver 70% of that power to the rear tires. It also has launch control to help you do 0 to 60 in 4.8 seconds. And you'll understand why it rides so firmly when you realize Jeep tuned the suspension for stability at 160 miles an hour. Every Grand Cherokee comes with steering wheel paddle shifters for manual-type gear selection on-road and off, plus an eco mode that puts a blanket over performance in the name of fuel economy. You can switch it off. The diesel is a gearhead's treat. It generates peak torque at just 2,000 RPM for great low-speed grunt and good throttle response. And with a fuel tank of nearly 25 gallons, it's got a cruising range of more than 730 miles. This oil burner doesn't smell or smoke, but it has more than a bit of diesel clatter. That's something you won't hear from a Mercedes, Audi, or BMW diesel. But few SUVs of any stripe match Grand Cherokee's off-road ability. The SRT is really meant for pavement, but all other models are available with rear-wheel drive or one of 3 four-wheel drive systems. All 3 include a terrain selector that optimizes various systems for a variety of surfaces and weather conditions. Laredo's setup is actually all-wheel drive. It divides power equally front to rear. Jeep calls it Quadra-Track 1. Optional on Laredo and standard on Limited and Overland is Quadra-Track 2. It automatically shuffles power between front and rear to sustain traction, but it includes low-range gearing for demanding conditions. The ultimate is Quadra Drive 2. It adds a limited slip differential, off-road speed control, and an air suspension adjustable to 5 heights, from a boulder clearing 11 inches to lower than normal for easier entry and exit and better high-speed aerodynamics. Quadra Drive 2 is an $1,800 option on Limiteds, a $795 extra on Overlands, and standard on Summits. On-road or off, a Grand Cherokee is an accommodating place to spend time. The dashboard is attractive and well laid out. You can scroll through a crisp liquid crystal display in the main instrument cluster for useful data. Most models come with an 8.4-inch central screen, which you'll become intimate with if you want to activate certain climate settings, and we wish the navigation graphics were a little more sophisticated. Some critics find these buckets too firm for best comfort over long distances, but we like their support and positioning. We do agree this shift lever is odd. You toggle it and it's easy to overshoot the gear you want. That's not the best for precision. And it's kind of shaped like a 7-iron. That really bothers some people. There's plenty of room in front. The rear seat backs recline, and while space is good, it's no better than average for the class. Unlike the similarly sized Ford Explorer, Honda Pilot, and Toyota 4Runner, this Jeep is strictly a 5-passenger SUV. If you want a third row, check out the Dodge Durango, which is essentially a stretched Grand Cherokee. Same goes for more cargo room. With 36 cubic feet behind the rear seat and 68 with it folded, volume here is near the bottom of the competitive set. A power liftgate is optional on the Laredo and standard otherwise. Leather upholstery is actually standard on the majority of Grand Cherokee trim levels, but things like this rather flimsy-feeling plastic door and hollow-feeling plastic around here are the sort of details that remind you this Jeep isn't the product of a true premium brand. Luckily, it isn't priced as if it's from a premium brand, though straying from the V6 and basic all-wheel drive can quickly push you well over $40,000. All but the Laredo come with leather upholstery, but upgrading, say, a Limited with perforated hides, cooled front seats, bi-xenons, power tilt and telescope steering column, a dual-pane sunroof, and other goodies included in the luxury group adds $4,200. Toss in navigation, the Hemi, and Quadra Drive 2, and you're within pennies of $50,000. We might be able to resist the temptation of the $2,000 dual-screen Blu-ray DVD entertainment system, but we do believe Laredo buyers shouldn't have to pay $395 for the rear-view camera that's standard on the other models. In a crowded segment, Grand Cherokee forges its own identity, and that's no small achievement. It's brawny yet sophisticated, it's sporty on-road, and backs up every boast off-road. It's safe to say it hints at adventure, too. That's something most mid-size crossovers leave to your dreams. For more on the 2015 Jeep Grand Cherokee and other cars, trucks, and SUVs, go to carpreview.com.